Hey there, Live Like Your Nail Color Gals. Spring is in full swing, and we're back for another episode in a mini series called Renew for Resilience. We're talking about topics in your everyday life with the idea that if you and I consider this spring how we can renew these areas, we could boost our resilience to whatever may come our way. Because we'd be more prepared, organized, strong, buoyant, durable, feisty, and quick to recover in this crazy, demanding world. So far, we've talked about decluttering our most used spaces, editing what you eat, and renewing our strength training to feel strong and fit for all those spring and summer fun activities. Today, we're circling back to the home again, but this time to lighten our toxic load. Many don't realize it, but some of the things we do to make our home cozy and clean, like candles, air fresheners, and cleaners, are taxing our bodies way more than ever before, contributing to fatigue, mental fog, and sleep problems. Today's Gal Pal has some simple ideas to diminish the home toxins that can help boost your resilience. But first, before we dive in, do you know your nail color persona and what it reveals about you? I have a quick quiz that'll tell you. It's super easy, fun, and spot on. Just go to livelikeyournailcolor.com and click on the button that says, "What's my nail color persona?" You answer a few quick questions, and in your results, discover your specific nail color persona. There are 5, your built-in strengths, and how to tap into those strengths when chip happens. Again, go to livelikeyournailcolor.com. Now, let's keep this mini-series going.
Tired of so much chip happening? Discouraged by so much downer news? Weary from chronic crisis? Don't let the chips keep you down. Welcome to the Live Like Your Nail Color podcast, where the tips of your fingers and toes are ready to inspire you to not give up and to keep creating the business, career, and life you want. In each episode, we flip the chip and let our fun nail color with that crazy fun name cheer us on to remember our strengths, embrace the power of choice, see life as an adventure, and know resilience is only a touch-up or change-up away. Get ready for a good time and a good laugh with your host, Mary Foley.
Hello again, friends. The last few weeks, we've been talking about reviewing everyday areas of our lives to see what we need to change or tweak to boost our resilience. Perhaps some of what we've covered are the usual suspects: eating, exercising, and organizing our stuff. These areas are usually the first to slip. Well, today's topic is not so usual, something you may not have seriously considered. But I chose it because I truly believe it's negatively impacting you more than you may realize. You see, 9 years ago, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. And those of you who don't know, that mainly meant I was really tired. I'd sleep 9 or 10 hours a night and still not have a full tank when I woke up. In fact, I had to severely reduce my speaking schedule then. I did a lot of keynote speaking at the time, and I had to change my business model because I just didn't have the energy to get on the road and to perform like that and to really connect with people. I'd be just so exhausted and I couldn't rebound. Well, as I drove into trying to understand more about my condition and why my thyroid decided to take early retirement, I discovered so much more about the delicate balance that our bodies are always trying to achieve to be at their best, including that our modern life bombards our bodies with toxins. Now, I kind of already knew that, but I didn't consider how much they were taxing my body, or that the load has been increasing as my birthdays have been increasing, and that what I was doing to add to the problem without realizing it. So since then, I've been on a journey to improve my health and lighten my toxic load. There are a lot of areas to unload, but today we're focusing on just one: your home, because it's the one place you need to be able to relax and have truly support you. To get started in understanding how to lighten our home's toxic load, I invited my gal pal, Amy Fowler. Amy is the founder of Lamp Light Living, and she's a doTERRA wellness expert. I've known Amy for several years, and when we would talk, she would always ask me, "How are you doing?" And she would really mean it. She wanted to know. So often she would respond with a practical, natural remedy to try. She was and still is a walking encyclopedia of wellness solutions, including how to lighten your toxic load. So, Amy, welcome to the Live Like Your Nail Color podcast.
Thank you, Mary. It's good to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad we're talking about this topic, and I'm really looking forward to diving in. But as you know, before we go into all of that, I always ask my guests to take my quiz, "What's your nail color persona?" and to share your results. So first, what is your nail color persona?
Well, maybe it's because I'm a Gemini, but I have two from the top to the bottom.
Oh, there's a trend here. Okay, with my podcast guests, because there's a trend, right? Okay, so what are the two?
We'll do the fingers first. I'm a naked Nelly. I typically do not wear nail polish, but I have to say the one time that I did use some of your polish at a fun event, it was really actually inspiring. I had to go to the grocery store to buy something for snack time for Bible study the next morning. When I would be reaching for produce, I kept looking at my nails. I'm like, oh, how fun. So it really did inspire me.
You can reenact that fun anytime, right?
Yes.
So it's your fingers, literally. Okay. All right. So that's your fingers. I have a feeling you're talking about your toes next. Is that right?
I am. So the toes are a little bit more fun. I am a definite solid sister.
Okay.
So
I
I
go ahead.
I read the description, steady, reliable woman, cool with who I am and cheer others on. So that definitely fits me. And also the naked Nelly, also true authentic self, soothing and supportive. So those both really kind of nailed my personality.
I love it. I love it. My experience with you is both of those are true. Both of you, you're an authentic, solid sister. Okay. So I also ask, what's your favorite go-to color? So this would obviously be for your toes. And did that nail you?
It did. It did. And I'm very seasonal. So for like spring and summer, my go-to is always like a hot pink, like the brighter the better. And it's solid, it's not glittery, but I really like it when I find one that has kind of like a little bit of like an undertone to it. It's, some depth. I like it. It has some little depth to it. Yeah. So
cool. All right. So what did that bring up for you in terms of nailing you?
Chatty, which I wouldn't necessarily think that, but if you ask my girls, they would definitely agree and roll their eyes that yes, very chatty, warm, friendly, fun. So that would definitely be hot pink for spring and summer. And then like fall, I kind of like more like a teal color, which is kind of a combination of green and blue. Green is grow and expand, continual renewal, because I continue to like to learn and share. And then blue, peaceful and calm, trustworthy, dependable, and loyal. So
well, it did nail you. Yeah.
It did.
That is neat. And I'm hearing in your voice, like, I like these descriptors about myself. I like these things. I want to do these things more. Well, it's also when you go back to hot pink, because we're in the springtime mode right now, chatty, when you get on a topic you love, the chattier you are, but you're friendly regardless. It's like true any of us. Oh, we're enthusiastic about something. We tend to we talk more about it because we're so enthusiastic about it. But I also love that you said it had this, you like a hot pink with some layers, some depth of color. And to me, my experience with you would be like, you've got more depth than sometimes the fun, friendly Amy seems to exude. It's true for a lot of us, but I think that's really neat that you were drawn to that in your nail color. There you go. So,
well, I still remember my favorite car, and the color of the technical color of the car was amethyst. And while it looked silver, it had like this like purple, which sounds weird, but it had like this lavender purple like undertone thing going on, and it was just so pretty.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been going on for a while, Ms. Gemini. All right. So now that we know more about Amy, and let's dive into our topic today. We hear the word toxin a lot these days. So what exactly is a toxin, and what are the most common ones inside our homes?
That is a great question. There are different types of toxins, but the basic thing to remember is that a toxin is any substance that places undue stress on your body. And they're hidden all around us. They sneak into our cleaning products, our food, the air, and more. I know it seems like a lot. A toxin here and there might not seem like a big deal because our bodies are actually designed to handle them, to filter and remove toxins from the mucous membranes in like our nose and the mouth when they first, are kind of come into the body, to your digestive system, to your liver and kidneys really help flush and eliminate toxins from the body. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that definitely makes sense. I was thinking about like here we are springtime, right? So a lot of areas of the country, the United States and around the world, well, we got pollen, right? So we're breathing that in. And so why do our noses drip? Why do we sneeze and cough? It's because those are like first defense mechanisms to try to filter those out. And I know that firsthand because I've had long time sinus problems, or at least that's its sensitivities. All right. So what are some of the most common sources of toxic load in our homes? You mentioned a couple, but if you go into that a little bit more.
Yeah, there's several. And the one that is kind of a heavy hitter that everybody has to do, whether they want to or not, is cleaning products. Many household cleaners contain toxic chemicals such as bleach, ammonia, phosphates, sulfates, phthalates, dyes, and more, some things you can't pronounce. And these are really harmful if you're ingested, or if you inhale them, or if they come in contact with skin. And if you think about it, when you're cleaning, most people don't wear a mask, and a lot of people don't wear gloves. So you are breathing those, and you are, you're touching the washcloth or the sponge, whatever. So you are coming into contact with them. A second one is air fresheners. A lot of people love, the air freshener plug in, whether it's in their home or the thingy that hangs in their car, but they're known to contain formaldehyde, which is a strong, possibly carcinogenic substance, and it also irritates the skin, the eyes, and the throat. And then the big one, which people love, 3, are fragrances. Those are a big source of toxins in the home. According to the Environmental Working Group, there are up to 14 hidden ingredients in any given fragrance. So synthetic fragrances are made from petroleum and other toxic chemicals. Again, they can irritate your senses. They're linked to cancer, allergic reactions, endocrine disruptors, and even like cause of asthma attacks. And, you've heard that the asthma attacks and breathing issues, are on the rise. And so this is something that could trigger that.
Well, let me ask you a quick question about that one. If you went on fragrances, say these hidden ingredients in fragrances. So if I'm looking at a label and it often says just fragrance, you're saying that within that one word could be up to 14 hidden ingredients. Like that might be toxic.
Yes, and a lot of times they'll mix and combine different ones. And I think it started like kind of as a trademark secret. That's how the companies got around not wanting to disclose what's in it, for proprietary reasons. But it's really harmful to the public because you pretty much, in most cases, just need to assume that a fragrance is synthetic, because if it wasn't, they would be proud to say what it was.
Right.
And then the last one that everyone also uses every day are personal care products like shampoos, lotions, cosmetics. Those can contain chemicals like parabens, also, and phthalates that can be harmful to your health. And did you know that your skin absorbs up to 60% of what you put on it? So not only personal cleaning products, but also back to the regular home cleaning products, you're touching it and your skin is absorbing it.
I'm thinking also, back to the fragrances, that could be in cleaning products. It could be in air fresheners, and it could be in personal care products, right? So like
yes,
lotions and everything, because it just, one of the things that really strikes me is fragrances are everywhere. I don't know, maybe it's my nose gets irritated by them easily, but I was like, can we just chill on all the fragrances? But
and people are conditioned that they like fragrances. So
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. So these sound really bad, at least the way you describe them, but are they really that bad?
Yeah. And a good question to ask is your home making you sick? So these products can release VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds, and other chemicals into your air, which, they can have harmful effects on your health. You're breathing them in. An interesting statistic is that according to the EPA, Americans on average spend approximately 90% of their time indoors. And the levels of VOCs can be up to 10 times higher indoors than outdoors. We're all familiar with like outdoor pollution, but people usually think of their home as like a safe haven. And they don't think about the fact that their indoor air pollution can actually be worse. Homes are made better nowadays. They're tighter, more energy efficient, not drafty windows, those kinds of things. So on the one hand, it's good, it's a balancing act. On one hand, it's good. You're not like throwing air conditioned and heated window or energy out the window, but your air could suffer from that. So, and the VOCs are found in many of the household products I just mentioned: cleaning supplies, air fresheners, pesticides, paints, and the list goes on and on. We could talk an hour just about a list of VOCs. And what happens is when you use them, the VOCs evaporate into the air, but they're also even kind of, I'm going to use the term loosely, off-gassing, like even just when they're stored.
So while they're just sitting there, they're emitting something out into
Yeah.
your air. Okay.
And so what happens when we breathe them, the health effects associated with indoor air pollutants can be on the milder side, like your eyes, your nose, and your throat could be irritated. They could get red, they could get water. You could, be clearing your throat. It could also have headaches, dizziness, nausea, and fatigue. You were talking about being tired earlier. Or in severe cases, you can get respiratory diseases. They can lead to cancer, and they can definitely damage your liver and your kidneys because those are your detoxifying organs. And they're trying to help keep you in balance and keep you healthy. And they're wanting to get those bad things out of your body. So
Well,
it puts stress on them.
And I find this, like you can even get as severe as, damage to your, like you said, the liver and the kidneys, maybe even the big C word. And when I was really diving into this more and trying to understand what was causing this hypothyroidism, I mean, I will tell you, I have what I call my likely suspects today, but I still don't have a big definitive why by my doctor. But the more I looked into what could cause that to happen, the more I found, well, you could have a main thing, but then there's all these other things that exasperate it and make it worse and make it harder for my body to like really reset from this or to combat it. And one of the things I found was again and again was these toxins, and they're all over the place. So I just started to go, well, let me try to diminish, let me try to remove or lighten that load so that my thyroid would work better. I mean, that was kind of my biggest motivation, not necessarily thinking about my eyes, my nose, my throat, my, my fatigue. But then I'm like, hey, if all these things get also positively impacted, I'm great. It's like, I'm happy to do that. But I realized that until I had this big problem with hypothyroidism and being so tired, I didn't think about it much. I thought, oh yeah, well, we all have some toxins in the air. Their air is not necessarily 100% clean, or, oh yeah, well, I got some cleaning products, but hey, they really do the work. And then when I started deciding to make a difference at this or take some time, I really thought, is it worth our time? Is it worth my time to lighten my toxic load at home? Because it's a trade of time and effort with everything else I have going on. So I'm going to ask that same thing to you. How would you answer that question?
Well, definitely. When you're considered that you're exposed to countless toxins every day, from the breathing, your eating, your cleaning, all of these expose us to chemicals, both natural and synthetic. So yes, definitely. Did you know that according to the Natural Resources Defense Council, household products in the U.S. contain more than 80,000, not 80, but 80,000 chemicals, and most have not been thoroughly tested? So all those cleaning products on the shelf, not thoroughly tested. So those are exposing us to potentially harmful toxins at home in our space. And you might wonder, well, what's the big deal? Well, it's that we're being bombarded with them. It's not just a toxin here or there. There's lots from, like I said, I forget what the statistic is of the personal care products that a woman typically uses every day. So, they're cleaning products. And the more toxins that you're exposed to, the greater the load that it places on your body. And the accumulation of that is considered your body's toxic load. And your body has a threshold for how much toxic load it can handle. And when you pass that threshold, you start to have some health issues, some health impacts. However, anytime that you remove a toxin from your life, the toxic load burden on your body becomes lighter. Like, don't you just want to take a deep breath right now? It's like, I can do something.
Right.
Like lighter.
It's a little bit like where I was talking about with Ashley Stefanko a few episodes ago about let's declutter and organize. It's like lightening your stuff load, physical stuff. Yeah. You always feel lighter. Yeah, exactly.
So avoiding all toxins is impossible, but the goal is to keep your toxic load as light as possible and minimizing your exposure to unnecessary toxins so you know that your body can function properly. And the good news is that you can control what you bring into your home. Like, as I said, you can't avoid every toxin in the world, but you can definitely choose what you bring into your space.
Yeah, well, which is why I really wanted to focus in on the home space, because when we're going to an office, someone else's building or someone else's space, or we're going into the grocery store, someone else's space, or any kind of store, we're going just basically get in our car and drive anywhere. It's out there, in the environment. But our homes is a different deal. We have a lot more control over that because we make a lot more choices. So let's get down to some practical ways that you have found that we can all use to lighten our toxic load in our homes. What are some that you suggest?
Well, it's really simple. To lighten your toxic load, you just need to really reduce the number of chemicals in your home. And you might think, well, where's a good place to start? Well, let's chat about the ways that you can improve your air quality and your cleaning supplies, because these are two areas that you can change quickly and that have lots of benefits and impact. So for air quality, it can be simple things like opening your windows to get some fresh air. Now, you might not want to do that on a day when the pollen is swirling around, but even in the winter, just open your window a little bit and get some fresh air exchange. You can change your HVAC filter on a regular basis. It's a good idea to maybe even just put that in your calendar as a little reminder, because it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Just forget about it. Luckily, my husband's very good about keeping up on that, so he's got some kind of a schedule. You can invest in an air purifier. Some people have ones that are like floor models or that attach to your system. This is kind of more of a commitment, and there's some upkeep with that. Some people love to use houseplants in their home, and it's easy to do a Google search, which kind of houseplants help oxygenate the air and, filter out bad things. So, and then obviously just clearing out the toxic products in your home. I call it ditching and switching. And there's some easy ways to ditch and switch. And when I say ditch, basically you're ditching the products that are contributing to the problem, in your cleaning supplies, your air fresheners, your plug-ins, even your aerosol sprays. And people are going to gasp, candles. It's a good thing no one can wring my neck or anything right now. But yeah.
Well, I know we love candles. And that's the thing I learned is but when it's the smoke. They're taking the synthetics and the fragrances that are in the actual wax, whatever kind of wax they are. But if they're synthetic, they're still you're gonna smell it. And when you smell it, well, it's like an aerosol or anything like that. It's a synthetic fragrance. I mean, I was really bummed to learn that. And I know you can find candles that are made with natural based fragrances, but you really have to look, because 99% of them I've seen are not.
Right. It's the smoke, it's the wax, what it's made with, like the beeswax and soy are better for you. But if they're still using beeswax and soy and they're using a synthetic fragrance, you're still, you're back to that problem. And this, what I'm suggesting doesn't mean that you have to be done with products that make your home smell good. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that just avoid products that use synthetic chemicals and fragrances. And if it says fragrance, it's most likely synthetic. So what you want to do is you want to look for pure products and aromas that occur naturally from plants. And using essential oils is an easy way to get started. Basically, essential oils are just concentrated plant extracts. It's kind of like having nature in a bottle. And did you know that essential oils, they're amazing. They have antibacterial, antiviral, and antiseptic properties, which makes them perfect for cleaning your air in your home. And it's beneficial and not harmful. So diffusing essential oils can help improve indoor air quality by killing bacteria and viruses, even reducing the mold and eliminating unpleasant odors. So that can be in your home, that could be in your kids' shoes. It could be lots of places. Unpleasant odors occur lots of different places. But
and for those who may not be familiar with diffusing, because I certainly am, and I know a lot of gals are, but I mean, I've got a diffuser that's in my bedroom, and I've got another one in my home office because I spend a good majority of time in those two places. So give us just a quick word picture of what in the heck is a diffuser.
It's basically, and they come in all different shapes, styles, colors, but it's basically a little thing that sits like on a table, counter, whatever, and you basically add water to it, just any kind of water, and you add anywhere from say 2 to 5 drops of essential oil. And what it does is it changes it into particles that mist in the air. So you're getting like a continuous sustain. So I use a diffuser in the bedroom that helps me with, sleeping. And so it can run, 8 hours. And diffusers have different features. You have lights on, lights off, intermittent or continuous. So lots of different kinds of diffusers, but it's just an easy way to be able to use the oils, what we call aromatically, which is smell, and you just basically put the water, the oil in, and leave it, and then they shut off. When they're empty, they shut off automatically. So they're just super, super easy.
What are some of the essential oils in particular that are good for purifying the air?
Well, the citrus oils are amazing. They're very cleansing and detoxifying, like lemon, lime, wild orange, and they just smell good. Also, eucalyptus is great for purifying, lavender, and then tea tree. Tea tree has lots of different cleansing properties. People use tea tree even like for toenail fungus and things. So, and for skin. So it can be used, all of the oils can be used so many different ways.
Well, I see lavender in a lot of products on the shelf. I'm not saying that it's, I don't know if it's an essential oil or it might be synthetic, but that smell is associated a lot with cleaning, what I see, as well as lemon.
Yeah, I would say out of all the essential oils, lavender is the one most well known and probably most widely used. It's very calming and soothing, and it's just the one. It just smells good.
Yeah, it does.
And so people love it. And I love diffusing essential oils. I kind of get a lot of benefits. I can safely clean the air in my home, but I can also receive some energizing benefit, like citrus oils like the wild orange and peppermint are great for like uplifting your mood and energizing you. I use those like when I drive on long drives because they just help keep me awake. If you have somebody who's not really a morning person, you could put those on in your diffuser in the morning, kind of help get them going.
They don't even know it, right?
Yeah, right.
Morning.
Or, if you're working at home and you need that little mid-afternoon pick-me-up, those are great to use those too. And then I'll diffuse oils at night to help with breathing, relaxation, and sleep, like lavender and eucalyptus are both really good for that. And the thing that you have to keep in mind, because we see essential oils everywhere nowadays, is that they're not all created equal when it comes to quality. And this is really important because when you choose them and you bring them into your home, you need to make sure that they're 100% pure and from the highest quality, that they actually are coming from plants, natural sources, and that they don't contain any synthetic fillers or contaminants. Low quality oils or ones with synthetic fillers won't be as effective for your cleansing purposes. And because they're not pure, you're actually going to need more. And it's actually just not healthy because we're trying to avoid those synthetic things.
It's like, I'll use essential oils instead. Oh, look, I got a cheaper, low quality one and it actually has synthetic stuff in it. So I'm really not getting the whole thing done that I want to have done and decreasing my toxin load. So it's, I just thought when I first started using essential oils and playing around and experimenting, I was like, oh, well, they're all the same. And then I realized they weren't. And I was like, even the essential oils you have to be clear about. Oh my gosh.
Yes, you do. And it's really important, because you're breathing it and putting it on your skin. And I was lucky. I use doTERRA essential oils and products for their purity and potency. And the essential oil market is not regulated. So it's important to do your research. And I've done lots of research. doTERRA works directly with the farmers to source their plants where they grow the best. Like I have lavender in my yard, but it's not the same as the doTERRA lavender that's grown in France and Bulgaria. That's where those plants are meant to grow. Frankincense, Somaliland. They have therapeutic benefits when they grow in the soil and the conditions where they're meant to grow. So just because an essential oil that you see in a store says 100% pure, by law, they're actually only required to put 5% of the pure in the big batch and say it's pure. So you have to go to each company and have them kind of prove it to you that they're actually pure. So doTERRA bottles have a code on the bottom with the date, and then also with the code, and you can enter that code in that Source to You website for the single oils, and it'll give you all the information about that batch.
Wow, I had no idea when that's specific to a batch. I also had no idea that when it says 100% pure, but it's really not. I mean, that's what I'm thinking as a consumer. Like what's in this bottle is 100%, let's say lavender. And you're saying, no, by law, it can be 5% and it can still be labeled 100%. So they're just putting some other fillers in it, or maybe they're putting some other synthetic fragrance.
Right. And some companies, do it, they adulterate or they put synthetics for, profit for cost purposes. And other ones, companies that use brokers, they don't really know what's being put into that oil when they receive it, whereas doTERRA just uses no brokers. They work directly with the farmers. So it's doTERRA, farmer. There's no middleman. And so that's the way they can also guarantee the potency. And they'll, if they, test a batch and it's not where they want it, then they reject it.
Okay.
So what to look for in summary, what to look for when you're choosing an essential oil is, a natural source plant, that there's thorough testing, that they share the information, and that they do third-party testing to ensure the 100% purity.
If we were just to start and had not been diffusing before, and we're like, I'm going to use that for air quality and also to try these different aromas, what would you suggest?
A great collection for people for their home to start is what doTERRA put together called the Aroma Essentials Collection. It has 10 of doTERRA's best essential oils and blends for diffusing, and it also includes a diffuser so that you just from the gate have everything that you need just to start. And when people order doTERRA oils through me, then I meet with you and go over, it's kind of like a membership overview, wellness consult, go over your goals and just how to use them for your particular use for your family and answer any questions. So that's part of doTERRA is all about purity, potency, but also about education. So I would be
I had one diffuser and I started because I wanted to test this out. What room would you suggest that I put it in for most people?
Well, that's funny because that's what I did is I started with a kit with 10 oils and a diffuser, and at night the diffuser would go in the bedroom for sleeping, and then during the day the diffuser would go to the kitchen, or if someone wasn't feeling well it would go to their bedroom. So kind of slowly it was like rabbits. Now everybody has their own diffuser. Like I have a diffuser for my car. So
yeah.
And it was it was a process. I fell in love with it and I'm like, okay, we all just need, and it's really, I think, valuable to teach your children and family members, that they have some control over the things. Like my girls are in college now and they both have diffusers at school. So, and they know, they have their favorites and they know what to use. So it's an educational process of their health and wellness journey also.
Cool. Okay. All right.
And you'll fall in love with certain ones. Some people love lavender and a few don't, but one of my personal favorites is the Citrus Bloom blend. And I love that I can make my house smell like spring without any toxin. And basically Citrus Bloom is a blend. doTERRA, creates different blends that people love. And this one includes wild orange, grapefruit. So those are some of your citrus oils, lavender, Roman chamomile, which are both like calming, and magnolia. So it's like it's sunny and fresh, but it's also calm and soothing. It's kind of like that paint color of my car. It's like, it's got some under things going on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's complex.
Yeah, it is complex. So we've talked a lot about our air quality and what we can do to reduce our toxic load there. You also mentioned though about cleaning products, and I want to get a little bit more about that and simple ways that we can clean that up and lighten our toxic load.
Yes, that's good. Have you ever walked down the cleaning aisle at the grocery store and your eyes and your nose might have just started burning? Well, a common misconception is that you need harsh chemicals to have a clean home. And because of this, many people regularly expose themselves and their families, to synthetic cleaning products, which that's what we've been talking about. So it's a good idea just to open your cabinets and take a look at the products that you have, say in your kitchen, your laundry, and your bathroom, because that's like the 3 areas where you usually typically store those things. And you probably have multiple cleaners, say for your sink, your sinks, your dishes, your counters, your laundry, your showers, your toilets, and your windows. So it's a lot.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So all those cleaning products that you have in those different places, you can read the labels, but you're going to notice that there's a lot of warning labels on there, which, it's kind of scary. Like, do this if you get it in your eyes, or do this with poison control or whatever. So basically, it's time to ditch the toxic and switch to 100% natural products. And it's really just all about awareness. When you know better, you're compelled to do better. And then you just create new habits using safe plant-based products. And so some people like to make their own cleaning solutions with essential oils and other natural ingredients. Like, we go back to our grandmother and great grandmother's days, like white vinegar, baking soda, Castile soap. And there's so many easy recipes out there. If you're that kind of person, I'm happy to help you, come up with those recipes, or, Pinterest, Google, they're out there everywhere. And I do make some of my own. But if DIYs are not your thing, doTERRA has recognized that people are busy and they just want simple solutions. So they did create a home cleaning line called the Abode line. It includes a multi-purpose surface cleaner, a liquid dish soap, dishwasher pods, laundry pods, and a hand soap and lotion. So all of the Abode products are based on the Abode blend. It's basically concentrated plants that clean, and it's comprised of lime, litsea, cassia, lemon eucalyptus, tea tree, arborvitae, kochi, eucalyptus, cilantro, lavender, and lemon myrtle essential oils, which are all fabulous for cleaning. So you can have a clean home that doesn't come at the cost of your health and those 80,000 untested chemicals that we talked about earlier.
And some of those ones in that blend that you just listed, those essential oils, I was like, I don't even know what those are. Okay. But so that's what's kind of fun that I found with doTERRA. I've learned about some plant extracts or some kinds of plants that I had never heard of before. Well, it's because they're in different parts of the world. I mean, that's essentially why, right?
Yes.
It's been kind of fun. But the thing is that at least I know that they're real plants and they're not synthetic chemicals. And to me, that's been the game changer, really, for me.
The whole line is natural, non-toxic, and they really work. My favorite is actually the multi-purpose cleaner. All you have to do is add some water, add some of the concentrate to the bottle, to the spray bottle, and I have it in my kitchen and bathroom just to make it easy. And it smells really great. And I just like the fact that I have one product to reach for, sinks, surfaces, shower, toilet. I don't have 4 different bottles. I have the one bottle. So that just makes it nice and easy. And like I said, my girls are in college. So like the laundry pods are super easy for someone, say, who's, got a trek to go do laundry they're on the 6th floor of the dorm and the laundry's in the basement. The laundry pod, not only is non-toxic, but it's just very easy to carry. So I've actually used them traveling before. When I knew I needed to do some laundry, I just popped a couple pods in my little carry-on bag and I was able to do laundry at the Airbnb. It just made it super simple.
Cool.
And
so I know this is a lot. I mean, in some ways it can feel like a lot, like, all right, if you haven't looked at your toxic load in your house before at all. And that's why I really appreciate how you're like, you got 2 big categories. Look at your air quality. That's what I heard. Look at your cleaning products and just try to simplify, make it natural and to simplify. Would that be an overall way to approach this?
Yes, definitely. Very. Just make it simple and make it simple. And not like you said, it's a lot, but there are definitely resources. There's me that you can ask questions, and then I also there's free ebooks that I can share with you. Like the 3 that come to mind that would be helpful based on this topic is 1 is cleaning with essential oils. 2 is toxins and air quality, how to freshen the air you breathe. And 3 is 100 diffuser blend ideas. Not that you will ever need 100. You really only, you'll fall in love with your favorites and it's nice to switch it up once in a while, but it is, gets the creative juices going. And my friend actually likes to call me the mixologist because I like to make my own. I really don't even look at recipes anymore. You just kind of like get used to it. You know what you like, and that's what goes in the diffuser or the cleaning bottle. So my overall top recommendations for simple steps that you can take to reduce your toxic load at home are: 1 is progress over perfection. Just start somewhere. Your most used products. We talked about the indoor air quality in your cleaning. Just start. It's better to make one small change than to not make any change at all. And obviously avoid products that contain synthetic fragrances. And then choose natural, non-toxic cleaning products like doTERRA essential oils and the Abode cleaning line. Just makes it easy. And reducing your toxic load at home can help you breathe easier, sleep better, and reduce your risk of long-term health priorities. And reducing your toxic load at home can help you breathe easier, sleep better, and reduce your risk of long-term health problems. So it's really a win-win.
Yeah. Well, what I'm hearing in in the ditch and switch, which I love that term because I can just remember it so much easier. All right. So let's say I pull out all these products and I look and I'm like, oh, I really got to ditch them all. But I just bought this, right? Do you have any suggestions? I don't know, to kind of help us move through the guilt, if we want to say, or when I mom's. Do you have any suggestions of like that investment that I made? Is there anything I can do with those products that might be helpful to someone else, or would you say like, no, just go ahead and get rid of them for good?
Yeah, I'd probably say get rid of them for good because there's always that guilt factor. You're like, well, if I don't want to use them for my family, then do I really want to donate them for somebody else? You know, so that's a hard question because yes, you've got investment, but your health is more important. So, and like we were talking about some of the like the watery eyes, itchy eyes, nose, like those are things that you can like that are apparent, that are obvious. It's kind of harder to see what we're doing to systems and organs inside of our body for that long-term exposure. So it's really not worth it.
I love what you said about just start somewhere and start with your most used products. And it's almost like start there. That's it. And see if one, you like them, you like it better. Like even just, I know for myself, I felt like I can't necessarily immediately feel the difference on my thyroid or otherwise, but I felt good that I was doing something to proactively support my body. And that was worth it to me. Amy.
Right. And if you need to help offset, the guilt of doing all the ditching, is the essential oils are so versatile and they're really just pennies per use. Like a bottle typically has the 15 ml bottle has 250 drops of oil in it. And because doTERRA oils are pure and potent, you only need a couple drops per occasion. And so that bottle will last a long time. So
Amy, it's clear you are passionate about this topic and you know a lot. So I want to know though, what's really the story why you're so passionate about this topic?
well, I'm so passionate about this because years ago, I used to spend a lot of time, money, and energy going to doctors. I was having some major issues from digestion to gallbladder issues to, going to physical therapy, like for muscle and joint pain. Even went to the emergency room once and they weren't really sure if it was allergy related. So I was really looking for answers and not really getting what I needed. So I was on a journey and someone happened to that I came across asked me if I was open to trying doTERRA's essential oils and if I wanted to go to a class. And I said yes. And that was back in the end of 2016. And I'm so glad I did because they've changed my life. I have tools that I can take care of things at home. I can help my family also. So it's not just benefiting me, it's benefiting my family. And they're convenient. There's no side effects to them. They're economical. They just really, I started with the kit with the 10 most used popular oil, and that really just became my at-home medicine cabinet. So I could take care of skin issues, digestion issues, if your head was hurting or if you're going outside this time of year and the pollen is bothering you. I really had a tool to take care of all those things. And it was just really simple. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah. Well, again, as I said in the very beginning, when you would ask me like, well, how are you doing? And you really meant it. And I might say, oh, I'm doing pretty well, but this is happening or this is happening. And then if I said, oh, I was like tired or, I was getting more headaches, you would just go, oh, well, I have an idea for that. Right. There's an oil for that. Or here's another wellness solution to try. And I was like, she's like a walking encyclopedia of stuff. I mean, I've never met anybody that knows so much about this, but the only reason we know so much about a topic is because we really are passionate about it. And we want to learn more and learn more, which is, I knew that when I wanted to just explore this topic about renewing our resilience by lightening our toxic load and to start somewhere, I thought, well, who do I know that knows the most about this kind of thing? That's Amy. So I'm really glad that you have done that. And I really appreciate that. It sounds doable. And I really would encourage every gal listening to give this a deeper thought than they may have before about the air quality in their home and the cleaning products that they're using and how they can do some simple things to lighten that toxic load. Now, what I always ask also at the end of every podcast when I talk to gals, Amy, is, all right, if you could create a nail color to inspire us to lighten our toxic load, what would that name be?
Oh, this is fun. So I really was thinking about this and I came up with the one that resonated with me the most. And it doesn't have to do with the color, but just the concept. It was basically clean slate.
Ooh, I like that.
So it's basically just kind of thinking about starting anew, wiping away your toxins and impurities in your life. And, of course, prioritize clean living and embracing the natural and healthy products or practices, that we talked about, but just, starting again, clean slate.
I love it.
Start fresh.
And a lot about this series of Renew for Resilience is what's a clean slate I can do about my eating? What's a clean slate I can do about my exercise? What's a clean slate I can do about, now we're talking about, the toxic load that's in my home. So I love it. That's great. All right.
Yeah.
For those who would like to find out more about you, reach out to you, maybe those ebooks that you talked about before, or any of the specific doTERRA products that can actually put us on the path for lightening our toxic load, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Well, the two top ways would be my website, which is lamplightliving.com, or my email address, which is info@lamplightliving. I also have Facebook page and Instagram pages, and I will be listing my classes. So we have one Zoom class every month, which is part of a larger group. And then I do 1 to 2 in-person classes every month too, because I want to offer both options for people, because not everybody's local to the Richmond, Virginia area.
Okay. That's cool. All right. And then if someone wants one of those ebooks that you offered, and I can put the list of what those are, in the show notes, but if they wanted one of those, what should they do? Email you? Would that be the best thing?
Yeah, just email me. That'd be the best. There also will be a link on my website, but emailing me would be the easiest way to get that.
Okay, cool. I will do all that. That'll be in the show notes. Thank you again for your time today. It's again, even though I've been doing some of this, I've still learned some more. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mary. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
And now for the after party I call Flip the Chip, where I take a few moments to highlight something my gal pal shared that can help us all flip a challenge or a difficulty that's holding us back into something more positive that helps us move forward. What I want to highlight today is Amy's biggest approach to lightening the toxic load in your home, which she calls ditch and switch. Ditch the harsh synthetic products you most likely have now, such as cleaning supplies, air fresheners, plug-ins, aerosol sprays, and candles. Keep in mind that although they can smell good, synthetic fragrances are super common and made from petroleum and other toxic chemicals. So you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Instead, replace those products by switching to pure natural products. They are out there. Concentrated plant extracts in the form of quality essential oils is a great practical way to do this. You can make your own cleaning solutions with some essential oils and other natural ingredients like white vinegar, baking soda, and Castile soap. Or you can go the easier route and use a reputable brand with ready-to-go cleaning products that already have essential oils in them. One of those is the doTERRA Abode cleaning products line, which includes a multi-purpose surface cleaner, liquid dish soap, dishwasher pods, laundry pods, and hand soap. I love it personally because it smells great, does the job, and gives me the peace of mind that I'm lightening the toxic load for everyone in my home. For your indoor quality, instead of air fresheners or candles, use a diffuser with essential oils. In addition to cleaning the air in your home, you can also pick oils with aromas that can energize you, like citrus oils or peppermint in the morning that kind of gets you going, or oils like lavender and eucalyptus towards the evening that help you with your breathing, relaxation, and sleep. As always, you can use your nail color to cheer you on. Simply put on a new nail color, fingers or toes, and give it the name Clean Slate, like Amy suggested, so that every time you look at your fingers or toes, you're reminded that you can have a fresh start to lighten the toxic load in your home. Because it's really true. You can make good choices to keep creating the career, business, and life you want, one step, one nail color at a time. I look forward to being with you next time on the Live Like Your Nail Color podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Live Like Your Nail Color podcast. Ready to live and laugh more? Know a friend who could use some of that too? Then subscribe at livelikeyournailcolor.com or your favorite podcast app and share this episode right now with the person who popped into your mind. Together, let's flip the chip to be stronger, smarter, and happier.